It continued the upward side up to around 164. Hope you people, you made some money here. So changed character. Continued the upward side. Bypassed the supply zone. And Solana, it may hit the 168 area. Because that is a very small percentage for Solana. It may hit that. It's a very small percentage on Solana. So let's go ahead. Ended by talking about how the market moves. Market structure. We talked about market structure. I greet everyone on the call. Previously, we talked about market structure, looked at the uptrend and the downtrend. Now, today, I want us to look at something on how to draw lines of support and resistance. To draw trend line, you will need to find at least 2 minimum swing points and simply connect them to each other. With each other, the levels must be clear. Don't try to force the trend line. Don't use smaller time frame to draw trend lines. Use always the 4-hour time frame and the daily time frames and find out obvious trend lines. We will try to focus right now on how to draw them in the trending markets. Our purpose is to identify the beginning of impulsive moves or in a trending market. In the next chapter, I will explain you in details how to trade trend lines and combine with our price action trading setups. So this was just an introduction, but today let's talk about how to draw the trend line. For your analysis, to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but to try to be perfect, we always use the 4-hour time frame because to avoid noise, and at the same time, the 1-day time frame. That's what we use. And we draw support and resistance. Or we draw a trend line. We draw a trend line. So a trend line, once we learn how to draw a trend line, we shall be able to trade with it and also draw the support and resistance. Okay. So a trend line it is also support and resistance once drawn, depending on where it is drawn on the chart. So when you look at this, they tried to draw a trend line on a downward trend, and it is self-explanatory. You just find where the market is making lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. You identify the points on the upper side and you draw a line going like that. You understand? The same applies to the upward trend. When you see the market is making higher highs and higher lows, you draw a line like this and you put a trend line below the candles. Okay. The difference between here that when you are drawing on the uptrend, it is below, and in the downward trend, it is above. You understand? As simple as that. Let's go. We do it practically. Let's go and we do it practically. So the same way it can be drawn on a ranging market, but once the market is ranging, some points are neglected. You neglect some points and you continue with the other points. Let's go direct on chart. Let's go direct on chart and we bring out the 4-hour. This is our 4-hour chart. Let me get another Solana from another exchange. This is Solana USD chain, which is Solana perpetual. Like so. And you look at here. And you look at here. Let me get this. Let me get another chart because I don't want you. Immutable X is making wonders. Immutable X is making wonders, and it is just coming. And we can label it here. Let me go to the trend line. Okay, let me get the trend line. Immutable X will make you a lot of money if you start following it right now. Right now, it has been hunting this high. It is done. This is just a by the way. It is done. So, Immutable X, we are going for this high. On Immutable X, we are going for this high here. This is the high we are targeting here. Sorry. No. Let's get a horizontal. You follow such coins like this one, follow it, keep following it. Keep following it. You can come and label it here. I'll change it later. Okay. So this is where I want you to. Have you seen it? There is a possibility you will take some profit here, even especially those people that are trading spot market. And the best way to make money is to trade in the spot market. Horizontally, come here, take this, label this high here. There is a high, then come here. There is a point here. There is a high around here. There is a high around there. You understand? So keep following this coin. There is a possibility it will make a 60% from where it is. It's still on the demand zone, Immutable X. In the 4 hour, it is still in the demand zone. And in the 1 hour, it is still, you can see where it came from, and how it has moved so far. So keep following that coin. So our major emphasis here was to support and resistance. Let's bring the TRX. TRX. Let me remove anything from the TRX. Let me bring another coin. Which coin here? Near. The first target is hit on near. The first target on near is hit. Let me take it in one day. But which coin did I make? Didn't I make analysis on? Okay, feeder. Okay, let me put everything on feeder. Let's use the feeder. Feeder USDT. And we start drawing a trend line. And we shall follow our rules, say that when the market is trending upwards, we draw, or we join points below. We join points below this. Okay, we join points below. So you come here, you tap on this. When you come here, make sure you tap here. Okay, you're doing the trend line, you tap here. And once you tap here, the chart, it will bring you the chart. Make sure you tap on the trend line, and the trend line is here. Hope you know how to add these tools on favorites. If you're moving money, adding these tools on favorites, like the trend line. So you'll go tap on it, you add it to favorites. So when you tap on it, it will come, and we said we look at the points. For example, okay, this one needs to be subscribed. We said we are tapping on the what? On the points, and we join them. And since the market is on an upward trend, we shall join them from below the candlesticks. Below the candlesticks. So we are drawing a trend line below the candlesticks. Reason being, the market is on an upward trend. Let me see how many people are here. Ethereum will give us money. Don't hesitate to trade it. It is also giving out money, and it will bull. Ethereum will be bullish. Let me see how many people are here. Only 20 people, but it is okay. So we get our trend line. Get our trend line like this. We tap, sorry. Get your trend line. Put the parts here. Okay, you can decide to use the tips of the candlesticks, like the tip, the tip, the tip, the tip. Or you can even decide to take the body cross, for example, here, the body cross, at the end of the body cross, okay? And you do a support and you do your trend line. For example, I can bring this one here, tap on this area here, come on this, okay? This is a trend line. For the trend line to be perfect, most of the time, we want it to tap. We want it to tap on 3 areas, on 3 points, okay? We can put this one here. Okay, we can put that here, such that it taps. You can tap that, it taps here, taps here, taps here, taps here, probably here. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of the time, we look at 3 points. 3 points, or we look at, most of the time we look at 3 points. Or we can look at 4, if possible. But for the trend line to be perfect, most of the time, at least make sure you have the 3 points. And the market is moving on an upward side. Market is moving on an upward side. It means market is moving on an uptrend. Market is on an upward trend. So our trend line is below the candles. It is below the candles. And when we look at like this, it is respecting it. Okay? It is respecting it. It is respecting it. Now, that is drawing a trend line on an upward trend. At the same time, we can decide to draw it on a downward trend. On a downward trend. Like, when you look at this, the market was moving downwards. Market is moving downwards. And this is the high. Market moves like this, goes here, moves here, goes here, moves here, goes here. So the trend is not all that downtrend as well. Let's look at this. So we want consecutive higher, lower highs and lower lows. Because for the market to qualify to be on a downward trend, we look at consecutive, it forms lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. And for us to find out that the market is on a downward trend, you just tap and you see low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. Then we draw the what? We draw the what? We draw the trend line. So the same applies here. So the market is moving down like this. So look at points. Look at points. This. This one can be done in each and every time frame, whatsoever 30 minutes, whatsoever 15 minutes. But if you're doing the analysis for your own good, it is always good to draw the what? to draw the trend line in the 4 hours. Okay, it is always good to draw the trend line in 4 hours. Okay, for example, here, and here. So bring a trend line. It up here. This is a trend line. And up here. But it is not, the trend is not the variable trend. Let me look at, where's the Vicky? Which coin has a nice trend? 1,000 sats to the downward side. 1,000 sats has a nice trend. Spot crypto. 1,000 sats has a nice trend to the downward side. Where is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So you follow the guidelines. Let me take it from the avoid congestion. Yes, the 4 hour is good, but right now, when I look at it, it doesn't give me what I want now. Here is consecutive lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. So consecutive lower highs and lower lows. This is the high, this is the low. Market moves up. It taps here, moves up, it taps here. So since the market is moving downwards, it is forming lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. These ones here. So once it forms lower highs and lower lows, that's where we draw the trend line. So you mark this point, you mark this point, you mark this point, and draw a trend line like this. Simple. You just tap on the pencil, bring the trend line, put it on this point, and stretch it down to this point. Most of the time, it is always perfect. It's always perfect if it taps in the 3 points. Sorry. This pencil is also disturbing me. Okay, so it is always good if it taps 3 points. This, and this. Okay, it is always perfect. Most of the time, we need it to tap at least 3 points and more. 3 points and more. There it qualifies to be what? There it qualifies to be valid. It is down on the top of the what? On the downward trend at the tips. So the more, as you can see here. Okay. Wait. Market is trending downwards. People are not telling me that I've made a mistake. We are drawing it here because market is trending downwards. Market is trending downwards. You can use the tips. Like this. Okay. So a trend line is, most of the time it is respected if it goes through very many points. Okay. If it goes through very many points. So for example here, most of the time I will not force it whenever it goes. Okay, whenever it goes. So you can see that it is trying to pass through 1, 2, 3, 4, around those points. And once it is done, then this one happened on immutable X. This happened on immutable X. Where is immutable X? This one happened on immutable X, and it trended like that. So it trended like this. And most of the time, I personally, I use this spiral channel. Okay, I use the spiral channel to be my support and resistance. I use the spiral channel to be my support and resistance at the same time. But you can see that if it was to draw support and resistance, this is what is done. You can see that this one worked as a support. Though the market was moving downwards, it worked on what? On the support here. Again, I can change. Let me try to change like TRX. Okay. And you say for the market to qualify to be forming higher highs and higher lows, for the market to be to do what? To know that it is forming high, to know that the market is on upward trend, the market formulates higher highs and higher lows. I'm gonna bring another coin. I made a lot of analysis on that one. This one favors us. Okay. This one favors us. Because market is moving downwards. You find areas of consecutive highs and lows. Let me bring the chart like this, okay? So you find consecutive highs and lows. For example, here on render token, you can tap on these points here, okay? Like this. So you bring your trend line above. Bring the trend line above the candles. Tap here on the up, like that. Then scroll it down like that. So I'll not stress it. I just make sure it passes through my 3 points. Sorry. It passes through my 3 points. And once it does, then market comes most of the time and breaks this point. Now, market comes and breaks this point there. That is a trend line. Market is moving on the downward trend. You connect higher highs, lower highs and lower lows. Connect them and you draw a trend line like this. And if the market is moving on an upward trend, for example, here, market is moving like this. Sorry. Here, market is moving like this. Making higher highs and higher lows. So I connect the lower points like this. I will connect the lower points. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I just get 3 consecutive points or more and I connect them. The trend line. And I connect them. Set up here. And I take it this way. I just make sure that it passes at least in 3 points. Okay, at least in 3 points. And if my 3 points are not there, I look for other points. I can look for other points where the market is moving, is making higher highs and higher lows. I look for other points where the market is making higher highs and higher lows. So I tap on this down. I take it like this. We bring it like this, sir. Tap on the low. Tap on the lowest point, draw the trend line like this. So I just make sure it respects it. It respects it here, here, here. Others I will not mind. Others I not mind. Okay. But as you are drawing the support and resistance, the major reason for drawing your support and resistance is to know where this coin was resisted and where this coin was supported. Most of the time, for example, if market was resisted here, market resisted here, market was also listed at this point. But when it comes here, it breaks up. This means this coin is going up now. Okay, this coin now is going up. It is moving up because it has broken our what? It has broken our support. Okay, now if you find that the market is ranging, you have a ranging market. If you have that the market is ranging, how do you see that the market is ranging? Give me the answer in the chat. How do you see that the market is ranging? How do you see that the market is ranging? How do we see that the market is now ranging? How do we see that the market is ranging? Okay. How do you find that the market is now on an upward trend? What shows that the market is on an upward trend? Somebody to unmute.
Making higher highs and higher lows.
Yes, thank you very much. If the market is making higher highs and higher lows, if the market is making higher highs and higher lows like this, it means this market is on an upward trend. Then when it's making, it is going down, it is on, how do we see that the market is on a downward trend? How do we
Lower
see that the
lows
market is on a
and
downward trend?
higher lows and lower lows.
Yeah, lower highs, lower lows. Market moves lower highs, lower lows. It moves like this. Lower highs and lower lows. Once it is making lower highs and lower lows, it means it's in a downward trend. Then, how do we see that the market is a ranging market? How do you see that the market is a ranging market? How do you see that the market is a ranging market?
Making highs
What shows that
and
the market is
lows.
ranging?
The market makes highs and lows only.
Highs and lows only. Thank you very much for trying. Another one. How do you see that the market is making? It is making a ranging market. How do you see that the market is ranging? So if the market is making higher highs and higher lows, if the market is making higher highs and higher lows, that is an upward trend. If the market is making lower highs and lower lows, it is a downward trend. If the market combines the two, for example, market starts here. If the market starts here, goes up, comes here, doesn't hit the what? It comes here, it hits here, it comes here, it hits here, it goes back. So market is like this. It taps on the low, it forms a high, it comes back. Instead of breaking here and make a high, it comes back, it makes a low, it goes here. So it makes a combination of lower highs, it makes lower lows, it makes lower lows, it makes higher highs, it makes higher highs, it makes higher lows. It both makes higher lows. So once the market makes a zigzag, that is, once the market makes a zigzag, it means market is consolidating. Let me see whether I can get a consolidating market. There we go. Get a consolidating market. Market is in consolidation. Okay. You can see here. Market moves. This is our low. That is the low. It makes a higher high. It makes a lower, it comes here, it makes a lower high. So this is the high, this is the low, lower low. This is a high, higher high. Market comes down, it makes a lower low. It comes here, it makes it has broken structure here. It is a bit up, but it makes a higher high. It comes here, it makes a higher low. It makes a higher low. It fails to break. Instead of making a higher high, it has formed a higher low. You understand? So market has failed to break here. Instead of making a lower low, instead of making a higher high, it has formulated a lower low. You understand? So a combination of lower lows, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. A combination of all those points, the market is believed to be consolidating. The market is consolidating. It has made, because we expect, if the market was moving upwards, we expected this market to come here, to pass this point, comes here, to bypass this and breaks structure, okay? To come here, to bypass again this point and break structure. Then it qualifies to be an upward trend. But this time around, it didn't. It came here, it moved up this point, it comes back here, doesn't take up this low, it remains within the range. So it comes here, it tries to bypass this. Okay, once it tries to bypass that. It tries to bypass that area. It's also disturbing. So it fails to bypass this area. It instead of coming back and bypass this area, it comes and stops around here. And when it goes up, it doesn't break here also. So that one makes it a ranging market. That one makes it a ranging. It makes it a ranging market. That one makes it a ranging market. That market doesn't show that now it is on an upward trend or now it is on a downward trend. It is ranging within here. Okay, it's ranging within here. And once you see that, we can draw a trend line on those candles. We just look at the highest points. Okay? Once you see once you see a market like this, here I gave a word, and you can see here, market tapped here, comes here, it fails to take up the low. It just wicks on it, comes back here, doesn't tap the upper line, stops here, comes here and taps here. It comes back and taps this line. When it comes back, it doesn't break this. It stops in the way, it comes up this point here. So once this happens, for us, if we want to draw a trend line, we shall come on our points like this, and we look at the external points, okay? For example, when you come here, we look at the external points. We shall look at this point, and this point. We shall look at this point, and this point, okay? And at the end of it all, we shall draw a trend line. We shall draw our trend line. For example, I tap here on the top here. I tap on the top here. Tap here. This pen is a problem. Let me put it inside. Tap once on the screen. Tap on this. So you tap on this pencil, tap on the pen line, come here, tap on this point here. Then we're trading it. So I can join these points here. Okay. I can tap on this up part here, and I join the points that are here. Okay, but I just make sure they are at least 3. Here it is just, I'm just showing you, and it has tapped on 2. So minimally you get 3 and join 3 points like this. So here you can join this and this. So if you see market came here, market was here, market was here, it traded like this, comes here, it traded this and it comes back here, traded like this, taps on the line, comes here, fails to take up this low, comes here, stops on this side, comes here, taps here, comes here, stops on the middle. So market is making a combination of higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows at the same time. So once you see that this market is a ranging market. Ranging market. Another word to mean ranging, consolidation. Consolidation. Market does not decide where it goes. Market does not decide where it goes. That is a consolidation. Okay. So market doesn't decide where it is going. That is a consolidation market. It is a consolidation market. It is a consolidation market. So you just find the external points because they are internal swings. But I hope you understand it. They are internal swings. For example, as we have seen, market comes here, moves like this, comes like this, comes here, it moves like this, doesn't stop here, it goes like this, then it taps on the line again. So this kind of movement, it is consolidating. So we just look at the points that are external. Those points that when you look at the chart, they are at the tips. So you draw a trend line, connect them and connect it like this. Okay. So that is a ranging market. So you can see that on a ranging market, you can do it up, can do it down, whatsoever. Okay. According to what you want to see. Or you want to find an entry or on a spot, you draw it down. If you want to find an exit, or you want to check the market, you can draw it up and see where it has broken structure. You understand? So that is support and resistance. That is support and resistance. Ranging markets, we have seen ranging markets, you have seen, and now for us to use a trend line, that I think I'm not going to that into details. Give me one in the chat if drawing a trend line is home. Give me one in the chat if trading with a trend line is home. So when you come here, try to mute. When you come here, you try to mute. Give me one in the chat if drawing a trend line is a bit easy, and give me 2 if it is hard. Like that, we do it again. Give me 1 if it is easy, and give me 2. Give me 1 if it is easy. Caesar says it is hard. Let's do it again. Caesar, we said we are drawing a trend lines, and we say the trend line can be drawn on an upward trend. How do we see an upward trend? We see an upward trend when the market is ranging upwards. For example, a low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So the market is making higher highs and higher lows. Market is moving on an upward trend, okay? And when you see this, you connect these points. You tap on this, you see this, you see this, you see this. So you identify the lower points and you draw a trend line. You identify the lower points and you draw the trend lines below. Sorry, you draw the trend line below the candles. You draw a trend line before the candles. Okay, you draw a trend line below the candles like this. Okay, you first find, you see the market is moving downwards, the market is moving upwards. You find lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. You find them. After finding these lower lows, after finding the lower lows like this, after finding the lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, connect them all together. By connecting them using a trend line, then that is it. You are drawing a trend line as well as it will work as a support area for you. The same applies when the market is moving to the downward trend. Market is moving to the downward trend. Market is moving to the downward trend. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You find consecutive. So you see, market is moving like this. You understand? So here you will find these points here. Because market is raining down, so you draw your line like this. Okay? You draw your line like this. For example, here, I come and I tap on the trend line. I tap on this. Then after, I take it like this. I take it like that. I just make sure it passes within my 3 points. Okay? So once it is not clear, I make it clear like this. Once it is not clear, I make it clear. I just make sure it passes within. If you are drawing your trend line to be perfect, make sure it at least touches the 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Okay? If it doesn't do that, you can go and find more areas. You can go and find more areas. You can even do zoom in and see these areas. So you can zoom in here and find those areas. So you find that if the trend line, like this trend line here, let me change it and I take it a bit like this, like that. So I just make sure it taps on my 3 points, taps on my 3 points. And once it does, it means it is valid. Once it does, it is valid. In the next lessons, we are going to see how to use them, how to use the trend line. How do you use it? How do you use Mugisha by your last of the video? Okay. How do you, in the next lessons, we shall see how to use the trend line. How to use the trend line. An example here, I've seen it. I've seen some points. I tap it on the high. Then I scroll down like this. So you see that my trend line here, 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 then here. So that is a clear trend line. Market is moving downwards and I draw the trend line in that way. So if drawing a trend line is some, you can give me one in the chat. Trend line, it can be drawn on a downward trend. It can also be drawn on an upward trend. So you can draw it on an upward trend. You can also draw it on a downward trend. A trend line, we are going to see in the next lessons how to use this trend line to trade, to look for break of structure and to look for entries, to find where the market was resisted and where the market was. Do we have, what is the date today? Today is Friday. All right. We have a lesson. So today we have just drawn a trend line. You've just known how to draw a trend line. Simple as that. How to draw a trend line. Just find the 3 consecutive. You first identify the trend. Where is the market going? Market is going up. Once it is going up, you draw the trend line below the candles. Then you find the lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. You see, market is trending downwards. Then if market is trending downwards, what are you looking for? The market is trending downwards, I look for point of making the lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So I draw it above. I draw it above. And most of the time, people are confused. Now let me show you how to. Now, look at this. Here, so you grasp it like this. Here, there are 2 trends here, downward trend and upward trend, okay? So if it is an upward trend, we draw it here. And if it is a downward trend, we draw it here. Because, why? Because when we are looking, when the market is trending downwards, we are looking for where this market, if the market is trending downwards like this, we are looking for areas where it will break the structure and we make our entry, okay? And if the market is trending upwards, we draw it down. Why? We draw it down here. Why? We want to find where the market will break to the downward side, okay? Such that for us we make our entry. As simple as that. Unless you have any question, so don't be disturbed. Just know that the thing is like this. As you see this one, we have a downward trend here, we have an upward trend here. The downward trend, we draw it above. And for the uptrend, we draw it below the candles. All in all, we are finding where the market broke structure to the upward side and where market broke structure to the downward side. As simple as that. So hopefully now the point is home. Tomorrow we are seeing how we can use that to find the entries. Okay. Allow you people go to the 7:30 lesson. Unless you have any question, I'm here for you. Unless you have any query. Is there anybody new here? Let's go to the 7:30 lesson.
Excuse me.
Good. You are excused.
Yesterday we have started the support and resistance, and we are drawing on single candle, but I don't know why it's a continuation with the trend line.
Okay, it is a continuation because that's yesterday. I just wanted to show you that it is support and resistance. It can be drawn on one candle. Now, this time round, we have drawn it on a group of candles.
Okay.
But how? Using a trend line, because the market is trending up or down. And now things are adding. Yesterday, we looked at one candle. We said one candle is like this. And if we want to do support and resistance, we do it here and here. Okay? One candle. For example, if it is one day, and I get my one candle, this one here. I get my one candle. I draw here. I get another candle, I draw here. That is my one candle. I've drawn support and resistance. Now, let me take it to 1 hour. Let me take it to 1 hour. It was one day. Okay, let me take it 4 hours, such that it is self-explanatory. Where is it? Let me do it again. Let me take these ones all away. So why did I want to help to know how to draw support and resistance on one candle? I just wanted to simplify things, that if this is my one candle, I bring this. Sorry. This is my one candle. I bring the horizontal ray. I draw a line on top. I bring this one, I draw a line up. It means I have drawn support and resistance on one candle. But if this was 1 hour, let me take it to 4 hours. Okay. So you can see that the support and resistance on 4 hours. Okay. Support, I have drawn support resistance. So I wanted you to find it easy to see how easy it is to draw. So look at this. It means we drew support and resistance on one candle here, then here. Then this is support and resistance on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. You understand? Because the other one was 1 day. And 1 day equals to 24 hours. And these 24 hours, this one, we are drawing it on 4 hours. So that is why you are seeing 6 candles here. I don't know whether you are seeing the relationship. Have you understood? Have you understood
Yes.
there? So this is support and resistance. So the other here, support and resistance on 1 day candle. Then here, support and resistance on that in the same time frame. In the same area of focus, but in 4 hours, you can see how our support and resistance works. So if we learn how to draw the support and resistance on one candle, if you learn how to draw support and resistance on one candle here and here, it is very easy now that you know how to draw support and resistance on 4 candles, because the support is here, the resistance is here. Those are the 4 candles. You understand? So if you can even take it to 1 hour. Take it to 1 hour. So since here they have 6 candles, here they will be around. You can see now the candles, support and resistance. You can see where where it has started here and where it has stopped. So a trend line is a support. So a trend line, let me make things clear. If the market is moving upwards, like this, if the market is moving upwards like this, and we draw a trend line here, it means this is our support. Mr. Assad, are we together? That is our support. We are drawing still support and resistance, but now on many candles. Now, if the market is moving downwards, like this, market is moving downwards like this, making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, we shall connect these points here like this. And once we connect those points like that, you can see that this is a support. This is our support area. Sorry. If the market, no, I've made a mistake. If the market is, because we said the market is growing here. So if the market is moving down, our trend line will be up. So it will be making our support. Why? Because we want to find a breakout here. Okay. And if the market is moving upwards, and if the market is moving upwards like this, if the market is moving upwards, for example, let me find an upward trend. If the market is moving upwards like this, the market is moving upwards like this, like that, we shall just connect these ones. And once we connect them, this is our support area. That's our support. If the market is going downwards like this, we just look for these high points. We draw it like this. Okay? And once we draw it like this, that one will be our resistance, because it has been drawn above the candles. But they are all trend lines. Okay? They are all trend lines. Whether it is drawn up, whether it is drawn down, it is a trend line. What makes us draw it up? Because the market is on a downward trend. So when you see that the market is on a downward trend, we just draw it above the candles and it goes like this. And once the market is on upward trend, we just look below the candles and it goes like this. But they are all trend lines. And when it is drawn below the candles, it is a support area. And once it is drawn above the candles, it is a resistance area. It is a resistance area. Tomorrow we are going to see breakouts, break of structure and retest. Break of structure and retest tomorrow. We are not combining the two things together. Give me now 5 in the chart if the point is home. Give me 5 in the chart if the point is home. Okay, now that the point is home, but very few people are here. And let me see any question. I welcome any questions here. Let me welcome some of the questions. Let me welcome some of the questions, and if no, allow me to stop here. Let's go to the 7:30 lesson. Hello?
Yes, hello. Madam Prosi, malamusizaako
Hello?
banaye. Bamembaze mwenna abadde ku lesson ya leero. Yes, hello. Members malamusizaako nnyo mwenna abadde ku lesson ya leero. Madam tompulira?
Nkuwulira bulungi.
Okay. So banaye waliwo members abambuuza gundi abambuuza YouTube channel yaffe. Mbadde nsaba oyongerewo gibalageko awo YouTube channel yaffe. Waliwo abajja nga bagimbuuza.
YouTube channel. Let me share the link to that YouTube channel in the chat.
Okay. Oba ogisharinze kirungi. Nekiraba ne ba members gwe neetaza USDT ntunda USDT bannaye ntunda n'okugulangula USDT. Yeah, gwe nawe neetaza transaction noonyaako olaba M Benard wonna yenze. Jangu buzimu inbox tukole transaction yonna gy'oba weetaaze. Nsobola kutera wonna wonna w'oba oyagadde oba ku Binance oba ku HTX wonna wonna ku exchange w'oba oyagadde ozikuteerawo. So kyekyo madamu. Ebuuzo bw'oba nga tewali closing.
So, link eri mu chat yiyo. Link ya YouTube channel yiyo mu chat. So gitwala.